Hello and welcome to this video, and on this video I'm going to be going through Rush's albums, and on each album I'm going to tell you what I think is the worst song on this album. I did this last week for Led Zeppelin, and although at the time I didn't think it was very good, when I watched it back, there was a lot of stuff in there that I found very entertaining, and I'm the one who did it. I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but I did. I can't help it, but I did. I thought, well, that's quite entertaining, and I sort of did it on the fly. So each album I made a decision there and then, which is what I'm going to be doing today with Rush. Now, of course, Rush have made millions of albums, haven't they? And we all know that the only albums we really care about are the ones that were made between the debut album, which is called Rush, and probably Signals or somewhere around that area, and everything after that doesn't really matter. So I can't even be asked going through Signals. So, because I want to spend more time explaining why each song's the worst song, and I don't want to have to get through loads of albums. Anyway, I'm explaining out my ideas with this one. You'll just have to go with it. So this is going to be the worst song off every Rush album, from the debut Rush up until Moving Pictures, their masterpiece. And then from then on, it was a downhill, slide, wasn't it, for Rush? Not a terrible downhill slide, but they never really surpassed Moving Pictures, wouldn't you think? Now, another thing I've resurrected for this video is, and you'll be very pleased to see those of you who know about it, because it's a very useful device that I have sometimes on my YouTube videos. It's something that adds an extra dimension, and it is, of course, reaction cam. Yeah, I've got a reaction cam, and this time I've bought two lovely cameras. So this one looks very pretty and bright. This is the bright reaction cam, and this one's a lot more darker and moodier. So we've got reaction cam. I've got the vinyl albums here. Shall we kick off on the worst? Shall we kick off with the worst track on every single Rush album, from the debut album up to Moving Pictures in 1981. Right, let's get going. So, of course, me being me, I don't actually own the first three albums. What do you mean? Oh, that's a reaction cam, is it? What do you mean, Andy? You don't own the first three Rush albums, and you call yourself a progressive rock fan, and you have a YouTube channel like this where you come on and say what you think you know about stuff. You don't even own the first three albums. Hold your horses, reaction cam. What do you mean, hold me horses? I won't hold me horses, bloody hell. He's always bloody ruining my videos. Anyway, what I do own is this Archives. All right, that'll do. It's not like owning the action albums. I would have thought over all these years he would have gone and bought the original albums. Why would I want to buy the original albums? What's so special about them? I have no idea what artwork is on the back of these three albums, even though I have been listening and loving these albums for probably getting on for bloody 45 years or something. Anyway, what we have on this album Archives, this silvery album here, right, is the first three albums: Rush, Fly By Night, and Caress of Steel. Now, the reason why I enjoy doing this is because I absolutely love Rush, and I absolutely love these first three albums. But as we start to weave our way through and look at the worst, lowest points on each of these albums, it starts to tell a story of Rush. So Rush, obviously a Canadian band. They're formed by two schoolmates, Alex Lifeson and Geddy Lee. And they love The Who, and they love Led Zeppelin, and they copy those bands, and eventually they get a local following copying those bands, and they get a local record deal. Now, what Rush should have been at this time when they went into the studio to record their debut album was some weird Canadian copy band of The Who and Led Zeppelin and Cream and all the stuff they loved. And that's what they sound like. Extremely derivative, but they are a great band. And that's what we get with the first album. But they can write some killer riffs, and so on here we have some killer riffs, but we don't quite have the full Rush formula because Neil Peart's not here. Instead of Neil Peart, we've got John Rutsey. Now, John Rutsey was a good drummer. He does well on here. He wasn't Neil Peart, but he was also a little bit sickly. He got the old diabetes, and once they got this album done, they realised he couldn't go touring, so they had to go and get another drummer. Now, this diabetes actually, ended up giving him an early death, really. So for him, not only did he miss out on being in Rush and being the drummer of Rush, but he also died early. So it was bad all round for John Rutsey, and it's a shame, you know. And it could well be that if he had stayed in the band and hadn't had the old diabetes, then I don't know, would they have gone on to do like Hemispheres and stuff like that? I don't know. But a terrible thing for him, and he must have looked on, you know, throughout his short life, looking at, you know, the other two guys going on, going, my God, they're doing better and better, and I'm just suffering here with the old diabetes. Must have been very sad. But for us, it was bloody brilliant, wasn't it? Because with Neil Peart came in, they started doing all the bloody proggy stuff and conceptual stuff, and they went bloody amazing. Now, you would think that this album wouldn't be good because of that, but it is. And it's the riffage. It's the derivative riffage that makes it so good. So let's go through track by track on this one. Finding My Way, bloody brilliant. Need Some Love. Right, now, there's a certain aspect of Rush on this first album. And I've noticed it's when Geddy Lee is writing the lyrics. Now, Geddy, of course, was not, he's not a handsome man, let us say. You know, he is... when it comes to the looks department, he is, you know, he's not blessed, is he? Whereas Alex Lifeson is a very, very handsome man. He's a very handsome man with almost like sort of blonde Marlon Brando looks about him. I would have thought. I've always had a soft spot for Alex in terms of the old visage. But Geddy Lee, no, it's all not working quite right. Everything's either too big or too small or too close together or too far apart. So obviously being the lead singer in a band, having incredibly high voice, which in the early 70s meant that most girls were, you know, falling into your arms as soon as they heard a high-voiced lead singer, he had to put something else into the Rush formula to try and draw the ladies to him. You can tell he was into the ladies at this point, because when he writes a song, it's always about him. On the first album, they're always a bit, they're sexy, and we don't associate that with Rush, do we? But they're sexy. And track 2, Need Some Love, is one of Geddy Lee's sexy songs, right? And this is close to being the worst song on the album, except that when they go sexy, they go all a little bit Lynyrd Skynyrd as well. I've noticed this. There's a lot, and this stays with them, and it sort of slowly goes into the myth of Rush. These type of songs, you know, these sort of. I'll tell you now, baby, I like your pants. You know, it's all of that now. Of course, I'm paraphrasing, not Need Some Love, but another one that's coming up in a minute. Then we get Take a Friend, which is them being a bit like, you know, let's wind it back in here again. It's all right. That's good. What You're Doing, one of the greatest rock riffs of all time. It's incredible. That's Led Zeppelin, isn't it? Watch What You're Doing. Anyway, very Led Zeppelin derivative to the point where I can't actually remember the What You're Doing riff, because all I hear is Heartbreaker. But by the by, it is derivative. Then we get In the Mood. Now, In the Mood is another one of these bloody Geddy Lee type, bloody Lynyrd Skynyrd type songs. Now, I've done a whole video on In the Mood. You could go and check it out now. I'm going to put a little thingy up here to let you know it's there, so you can click on it. You're going to have to bloody search for it. It's worth searching for it, because I go through the lyrics, and the lyrics are quite comical. And then we get Before and After. That was always my favourite one on this album. I think because it's a little bit proggy. It uses the prog cliche of a quiet bit at the beginning and then going into a heavy bit at the end. You know, the sort of Trees type of formula. And then we get one of the greatest tunes in Rush's catalogue, Working Man. So, what's the worst song on this album? Well, you know what it is. It's In the Mood. Well, you know, baby, I like your style. You know, it's like, where are you, Geddy? You know, I'm not going to do all the material again. I've done this already. And the thing with this video is I have got something up my sleeve which is going to upset every bloody progressive rock fan and Rush fan going, you just wait. Bloody hell, what's that, Andy? What you got going on there? I ain't telling you reaction count. You're going to have to, you know, you've only said that so that they'll stick around. Well, that's the job of a YouTuber. So stick around. We're nearly there already. You know, so let's move on. to the next album, which is called Fly By Night. Now, of course, at this point, John Rutsey's gone. Neil Peart comes in. Brilliant drummer. All into his prog. He's into his Barrymore Barlows. He's into his Phil Collins. He can play all the odd time signatures. He's got loads and loads of toms. And he can play them in a panoramic way. And as we know, every single prog fan loves a panoramic fill. What's a panoramic fill, Andy? This is one that starts right over here on the little tight ones. And then it moves all the way round to the low ones. Prog fans love that. That is what they love. It's not like Geddy Lee's love songs that the ladies love, which they didn't really love. But, your self-respecting prog fan who's got no interest in ladies or sex, that is the sort of things that turns them on. Hate to use that sort of phrase on a Rush video, but that is what it is. As soon as they hear one of those panoramic fills, they're all excited inside. Andy, why are you taking the mickey out prog fans? They're like your bread and butter, If they're watching this, they're thinking, oh, he's describing me. Yeah, I know, but they're bloody old now. They shouldn't be worried about such things as, reproductive activity, And neither should Rush. And pretty soon they forgot the whole idea of writing songs about reproductive activity. It goes out the window. It goes out the window. By the time we get 3 or 4 albums in, the idea that people procreate is completely it's deleted from Rush's subject matter. It no longer becomes an area of exploration for Neil Peart. I don't know why he wasn't interested in those types of things. Why he didn't want to write a song called In the Mood or something. But of course, once he joined the band, they noticed he was very bookish, wasn't he? He wasn't into all the old sex, drugs and rock and roll. Wasn't Neil Peart into that then? Wasn't he into all the old sex, drugs and rock and roll? No, he wasn't. You only did that because you're trying to utilise me, aren't you? And I'm not doing that much today. I've got a bit of a headache, to be honest. So you just carry on with what you're doing. I'll jump in when I'm needed. All right, Reaction Cam. You're going to go to sleep for a bit. We don't have to worry about him. Anyway, so Neil Peart's in there. They go out on tour and they notice he's very bookish. Now, I want to know how he became the lyricist for Rush, because I cannot imagine a scenario. Right, so imagine they're pulling some ideas. They go to the rehearsal room and Geddy comes in and he goes, I've got an idea for a song. What's that then, Geddy? Oh, it's called I Need a Lady. And it's like got this sort of riff, like a Lynyrd Skynyrd type riff. Yeah, Lynyrd Skynyrd type riff and I Need a Lady. Now, at that point, Neil Peart, being a serious guy, he must have gone, you sure you want to do this, Geddy? Yeah, it's really good. Every time I sing these songs, I can stand there, I can eye up a girl, and because I'm quite an ugly man, but then I can sing, I need a lady, and look at the lady I like, and then she thinks, well, I know he's an ugly bastard, but he is the lead singer of Rush, and he has got a very high voice, and he is singing a song where the lyrics seem pretty prepared to, set up some sort of fornicatory, encounter with this man, and, well, I may as well just do it. And when you're faced with the whole audience, and of course, on a Rush gig, there may have been ladies at this point, before ladies were banned from Rush gigs, which is something we never mention. Anyway, so I think Neil Peart just couldn't deal with it, because I can't really be in a band where we've got these songs going on. I mean, when I joined, I said I would not. I don't mind doing Working Man or What You're Doing, but I ain't playing In the Mood. It's misogynistic, and it treats women as objects, Geddy. And Geddy was probably got all, suppose you're right, Niels. Well, what can we do then? I mean, Alex isn't very good at writing lyrics, what do you want to do? Well, I might write a lyric or two. And so, well, show us some of your lyrics. He must have got his little book out, and they must have looked at it and went, oh my God, what's this one here? Baitor the Snow Dog. What's this one about? Well, it's about a fight between this fellow called Baitor and a snow dog. It's they have a big fight in the middle. And how the hell are we supposed to replicate a fight in the middle of I'm doing the reaction, you see, but this isn't the reaction. This is at Reaction Cam. This is Alex and Geddy. I need another camera, don't I? I need an Alex and Geddy camera. Does it matter? I mean, I'm trying to explain. It's bloody obvious, isn't it, that once the penny dropped, that Neil Peart wasn't just going to supply panoramic fills, but he was going to supply sort of vaguely fascistic Lord of the Rings type sword and sorcery lyrics. And that's what makes Fly By Night so good. And Fly By Night for me is one of Rush's greatest albums. In fact, it might be the definitive Rush album for me. It might well be. Anthem is amazing. Best I Can, that's all right, I suppose. Best I Can. Beneath, Between, Behind is amazing. That's lovely. That By Tour the Snow Dog's amazing. You might be asking is how did Rush choose to? Let's reaction cam. You get wait, oi, reaction cam. Can you wake up? Well, what's the matter? Can you react to what this bit I was just saying? What were you saying? Well, it's about By Tour the Snow Dog. You know, I mean, this By Tour the Snow Dog reaction cam is about it's about this bloke called Biter, although I would call the Snow Dog Biter because he probably bites, with if he's not a dog, the other character. Hang on, mate, you're doing reactions to yourself. Yeah, but that was more bewildered reaction. Well, I suppose so. But what I don't understand is how a band could emulate the fight between a snow dog and some fella called Biter in music form. Thank you, reaction cam. That's what I needed. No problem. Can I go back to sleep now? Yes, you can go back to sleep. So the way they basically have this battle is it's like a guitar solo. It's a rock guitar solo. And what you find that Rush on their epics would not do what Yes or Genesis would do and extend a song over 20 minutes using, musical devices. They would do it by lots of repetition and guitar solos. In other words, I don't think Rush were good enough to write a sideline song, but that's a bit that's going to come in. Yeah, it's all going to be good. Stick around. I tell you, it's going to get really interesting. So I should get a bit faster, really. Fly By Night, that's really good. Making Memories, that's all right. Rivendell, I really like that. In the end, it's just. I like all the tracks on here. If I had to, I mean, do I have to pick one off this album? I think they're all right. It's probably Best I Can, but In the End. What about Rivendell? Rivendell's rubbish. Rivendell's not rubbish. It is rubbish. It's boring, Andy. Normally you'd hate that. It's really boring acoustic guitar, and it's all bloody moody. You hate that type of thing. You hate it. What's the matter with you? Now, I love Rivendell. I absolutely love Rivendell. And the reason why I love Rivendell, because it really does represent something amazing to me. When I heard that song, I didn't know what it was on about, so I said to my mate who was into all this type of stuff, I said, what the hell's this Rivendell song about? Because it's from Lord of the Rings. He says, it's Elrond's house. Elrond's house? Who the hell's Elrond? It's his bloke. And when you get there, it's all lovely. And from that moment on, I would listen to that song and it always embodied a lovely place to be. And it's like sometimes I get home, I've got a Battenberg cake under one arm, some Pringles under the other, and then there's a free viewing of the Cruel Sea or film like that, and I get into my little room and I get all cosy and I got my Battenberg cake and I feel at home and I feel cosy, and for me that would be my Rivendell. Fair enough. Right, so I'm going to go for In the End. I don't really know. I've got to be honest. It's a lot easier on the next album, Rush Caress of Steel. Bastille Day is bloody amazing. I want you to remember this. Bastille Day is amazing. Lakeside Park is amazing. Necromancer is amazing. Now, this side 2, Fountains of Lamneth or whatever it's called, Fountains of Lamneth. There's some nice musical moments on here, but this is a band trying to write their first sidelong epic whilst being stoned out their heads and not having the musical ability. There's moments on this where it actually drops down to silence and a new bit starts up. And I'm afraid, Rush, when that happens, that's another track. Now, it might have all the same musical material that you had before, but that's just because you're crap. Fountains of Lamneth, I enjoy it when I listen to it. It's got all sorts of funny, strange stuff. It sounds like a bunch of guys in the studio stoned out their heads trying to do whatever they want. It's amazing. They're just bloody indulging themselves. But is it a great sidelong track in the sort of like Close to the Edge or Supper's Ready? No, it's not. But I enjoy it. And of course, nothing compares to I Think I'm Going Bald. Now here we have Geddy Lee stepping in. right? Now, because Neil Peart's in the band, he knows he can't write one of his chatting up the ladies songs. So now he's got to go and look into his inner, like Neil Peart does. He's all thoughtful and bookish, and he's always he's got this existentialist aspect to him. He's always thinking about stuff in great depth. And when Geddy does that, he goes, "Oh, well, what am I worried about? Well, I suppose I'm a bit worried about going bald." Why is Geddy Lee worried about going bald? How old is he now? Like 90 years old? And he's still got a very, very fine head of hair. I mean, look at me. I've got a very fine head of hair, but mine has gone grey, as you see. Not with Geddy. Geddy's still got jet black hair. He doesn't have to worry about his hair. So even with this, it's bloody pretend, isn't it? Can you stop picking on Geddy Lee? What have you got in for Geddy Lee? What's wrong with Geddy Lee? Nothing. I love Geddy Lee. I just think in the early days he was a bit of a he was difficult. I think. I imagine that a lot of his ideas were rubbish. Suppose so, Andy. Right. So we got through the first three albums. Now, of course, everyone who knows about Rush, these three albums came out. Nobody liked them. Nobody bought them. And then they got an ultimatum off the Mercury, the record label. Write something commercial or we'll drop you. But they didn't do it, did they? They didn't, no, Andy. They didn't. What they did is they stood up against it. The brave progressive rock band that they were. They went, we don't care that progressive rock's dead. We don't care that punk's around the corner and disco's coming in and no one's interested in this. And we are going to stand up against the powers that be, and we're going to make a progressive rock album and it's going to sell millions. Now, the thing is with 2112, right, I don't think it's as good as these albums. In fact, I don't know why 2112 is so rated. And what I'm about to do now, this is the central piece of the video. What are you doing, Andy? What's going on here? I tell you, this is the real reason why I wanted to do this. What are you about to do? You're not going to malign 2112, are you? I'm going to do more than malign it. More than malign it? What the hell are you... Oh God, no. Look, don't bring me into this. I've got... whatever he says now has got nothing to do with me. All right? I'm like, just shut up, reaction cam. Just pipe down. I don't want any reaction from you. Bloody reaction cam, undermining my bloody video. Where is it? So, this is the album here. Okay? Now, what's the worst song on here? Well, 2112's a big epic on side one. So let's look at side two. Passage to Bangkok. Now, this is the only tune on here that has passed into sort of the standard set list of Rush. Hasn't it? It ain't Tom Sawyer, it's not YYZ, it's not bloody Free Will, it's not Xanadu, it's not Working Man, it's not one of those tunes. But Passage to Bangkok, you would expect it in the set. Is it a top-notch Rush song? No. What's it about, we ask? It's about them getting stoned. And they've come up with this metaphor that they're travelling around the world, sampling different, marijuana products from various different places. And in that, it's trite and juvenile. Bloody hell, he's having to go at Passage to Bangkok. That's the only good one on the album, but we can't say it. You're right, Reaction Cam. It's the only good one because after that, we then get Lessons. Now, Lessons has got lyrics by Alex Lifeson. Sweet memories flashing very quickly by, reminding me, giving me a reason why. I know that my goal is more than a thought. I'll be there when I teach you what I've been taught. I mean, that's just nonsense lyrics, what he's saying. He's having to think about things, and when he's having a thought about them, he might tell you what he thought. That's just called being alive. You can't write a song about that. And then it goes, we've told you before, but you didn't hear us then. So you still question why you didn't listen again. I mean, this is just nonsense, Alex. Just put the pen down. I can't even critique it because there's no actual substance to this song. Lessons is rubbish. Tears, now Geddy Lee comes in. And not being able to write one of his Lyndon Sinners lady chatting up songs, he gets all sad, doesn't he? And he's, I think probably because he's got a girlfriend by now, hasn't he? So he writes some sort of lovey poem. And then you get at the end, Something for Nothing. Now, this isn't a famous Rush song, but it's pretty good. But if I just take the aforementioned Caress of Steel, is there anything on that side that's better than Bastille Day? No. Is there anything better than Necromancer? No. Is there anything even better than Lakeside Park? Are you really going to say that Lakeside Park is not as good as Tears? No. Right? If I go back to Fly By Night, right, so side 2 is a bit, it's just mediocre. Andy, reaction cam. Andy, you don't seem to understand that it's not about side 2. That's just their hard rocking songs just to get him in the game, that's something to play on the radio. It's all about side 1. It's about 2112. Right. So, I want to recreate now for you the list experience that you have when you're about 15 years old and you bought this album for the first time. And I'm gonna need a prop for it. So I'm just gonna go over here. You stay there, you two. Reaction cam. You okay? Reaction cam. Where'd you go then, mate? Where'd you go then? I just had to get something, a bit of a prop. So, this is me around about 1982. Bought more moving pictures. I'm a massive Rush fan, and I've gone and I've bought 2112. It's supposed to be their greatest album. Oh, this is exciting, isn't it? Oh, 2112, let's have a look at it. Oh my God, I don't like the look of them there. Have you seen that? What's going on there? What's going on with Alex's trousers here? That's a bit strange. I can't quite work that one out. They've all got their sort of, Japanese pyjamas on. They all stood there. And look at Geddy Lee. He looks ever so depressed over here. Anyway, what's going on here then? Oh my God, there's a man's bottom. Why have we got a man's bottom on it? Oh, I hope none of my mates think I've bought an album with a man's bottom on it. And what's Alex Lifeson doing here? He looks like the pimp at a taxi driver there, played by Harvey Keitel. I don't know. Let's put it on anyway. Right. So what's the first song on here? Let's have a look. Side 1, 2112. So. And side 2, Bashu. There's a whole song on side 1. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. I didn't even think a band could do such a thing. I've never listened to Close to the Edge or Supper's Yet Ready yet, so I don't know about them. This is the first time I've come across such a thing because I've got into heavy metal and then I've moved from heavy metal to Rush, and I can't believe, can a band really do a track that's a whole side long? How are they going to do such a thing if they pull this off in any shape or form without anything else to really, compare it against? I'm going to think it's the best thing ever done. And you might wonder why I've got the headphones on, because I always want to put a record on and the headphones so puts the album on. Oh, this is exciting. So what's going on here? So 2112, lyrics by Neil Peart with acknowledgement to the genius of Ayn Rand. Who's Ayn Rand when they're at home? I never heard of them. He sounds like a clever bloke. I might get into him. Sounds like he might be really good if Rush like this bloke Ayn Rand, and I might go and get a book on them. I might go and buy a book and then read it. And then they'll, convert me to some sort of fascistic right-wing viewpoint that will then annoy people later on when I have my own YouTube channel and it comes creeping into my worldview. Anyway, so let's start up. Overture. It's got a bloody overture. Only classical music has overtures. This is amazing. I was trying to explain to my dad the other day how amazing the bands I like, and he said, no, it's a load of rubbish. Go listen to some classical music. That's proper music. These are just a bunch of kids on drugs riffing. It's too simple. You should elevate your... But now they're doing overtures. I'll be able to show it to my dad and people like that and say they've got an overture. No, let's put it on then. Hit play. Oh, what's this? It's this strange. This is like science fiction going on. It's all droney sounds. Oh, this is weird. I feel like I'm on a spaceship in the future, like Planet of the Apes or something. This is frightening. It's all droney. It's like drawing me in. Whoa, what's this? Oh my God, this is complex. They're going all over the place. Oh my God, this is hard. How do they remember all this? This is so hard to remember. How can they remember? They must be the best musicians in the world. I always thought Rush were, but this is they just going on and on. Right, oh God, they're rocking. It's the heaviest riff in the world. Oh my God. Panoramic film. Oh, this is unbelievable. Oh, it's building up. It's so exciting. It's building up. It's the best song I've bloody ever heard in my life. It's the best. My God, what's they playing there? What's he doing on guitar? I know that tune. That's the 1812 overture. Oh my God, this is called 2112. They're quoting the 18. This is bloody clever. They're like geniuses. This is the best thing I've ever heard. And Tchaikovsky 1812 overture. That's one of the few classical pieces of music I like. I like it because it has got cannons. It's a bit like For those about to rock, it's the for those about to rock and classical music. That's why I love it. So this is the bass thing. Now they're going to get in. Gets into song. Oh my God, it's heavier than the other albums I've heard. What's this? We've taken care of everything. The words you read, the songs you sing, the pictures they give pleasure to. They are. Oh, these are totalitarian types of priests, aren't they? These priests of the temples, they're a bit totalitarian, I think. One for all and all for one, work together. Common sons never need to wonder how or why. See, that's the problem with communitarianism is I think Neil Peart's making a very good point there. You might be one for all for one, but you don't have to think. You have to not question stuff. Anyone who questions a bloody problem, a pain in the bum when it comes to a totalitarian, futuristic, utopia run by priests, right? God, it's the best thing I've ever. It's clever, it's intellectual, it's riffy. I tell you what. Hold it there. I'm ringing up my mate Doug. I'm going to ring up Doug. Right. Let's ring up Doug, shall we? So what's? Don't have to put a code in, local number. Hello, Mr. Doug's dad. Yeah, is Doug there? Yeah, could you get him, please? It's Andrew. Yeah, I'm all right, yeah. Yeah, Mum's all right, yeah. Yeah, Dad's all right, yeah. Yeah, brother's all right, yeah. Yeah, cat's all right, yeah. Yeah. Okay, then. I've rung up my mate Doug. He's into Rush as well. Doug, you're not going to believe it. Yeah, I got it this morning. Yeah, my dad had to nip out to Waitrose. I said, can I nip down the record shop? I showed it to him. I said, can I have this one? And he forked out for it. Yeah, my dad did. Yeah, I've just put it on. What's it like? I've got on playing it now. It's absolutely amazing. It's all got spacey stuff in. It's got these priests and they're like totalitarian priests. They're bossing around. They sing in a really screechy, horrible voice that nobody would normally listen to. Yeah, horrible. It's amazing. It's got heavy riffs and the musicianship. And there's like bits of classical music. And there's a bit called Overture. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's got to be their best album. Yeah, do you want me to tape it for you? Yeah. Will you swap a C90 if I'd put it on a C90 on side one? Yeah, it should fit on that. It's only short. You know what Rush albums are like. Yeah. What do you want me to put on the other album? Yeah, Sin After Sin by Judas Priest. That'll go well with this one. All right, Dougie. All right, yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Now, that is the experience of this album. 2112, that opening bit, Temple of the Syrinx, is Rush's greatest moment. It eclipses everything on the albums we've looked to up until this point. Right? And you're so blown away by it that you don't bother to analyse what's about to happen, which is just crap. Right? This bloke, he goes off, he goes to a cave, he finds a guitar, I've said this over and over again. I've always said I hate the bit in the cave, but I went back to it this morning. Once you get past the first bit, all he does is sit around that bloody cave, right? And none of it makes sense. None of it. Andy, what are you trying to say? What I'm saying here is if you take Temple of the Syrinx off, which is probably one of the Rush's great songs, once you scrap that, you then have 20 minutes of the same bloody reworking of the riffs from Temple of the Syrinx. There's no new material really added, except for massive padding out with either guitar solos. You need 3 minutes worth of guitar solos on here. 3 minutes of guitar solos. They don't count. When you're doing a sidelong epic, it doesn't count. When you do a guitar solo, a sidelong epic has to be bloody composed and arranged all the way through. But what's worse is Geddy Lee farting around on a bloody guitar with no backing, just that, maybe a little bit of running water in the background. And it always makes me want to go to the toilet, that does. So this presentation, all of this bit here in the middle, it's like we're going to take them in 5 minutes. All the work went into the start. All of it went into the start. And now they go, how can we pad this song out? And I tell you how they pad it out with this bloody bit in the middle. So there he is strumming his guitar away. And Geddy then sings this. What can this strange device be? Yeah, what could it be? What is it? You walk into a cave and there's a guitar there, lying on the floor. Now everyone knows what guitar. If you leave the guitar in a cave, right? It's not like it's a Telecaster, right? A Telecaster will stay in tune for a long time, but not a guitar, not with wind and rain and cave stuff going on. You know, it's going to be manky. It's going to be rusty. You know, so he sees these things with strings on, and he says this. He says, what can this strange device be? When I touch it, it gives forth sound. Who talks like that? Who talks like, is that how they talk in the future? Why is he talking like that? I touched it and it gave forth sound. Yeah, it's a doorbell, mate. Oh, is it? Yeah. When he keeps giving forth sound, can you stop pressing it? You know, it's like, gives forth sound, makes a sound, mate. Just to say, makes a sound. And it was why do you say, when I touch it, it makes a sound? Why gives forth sound, right? Now, if he strums that guitar, it would not be in tune. Now, idiotic middle-aged Rush fans, and I've mentioned this before, have gone, yeah, but that explains that. You can hear him tuning it. How does he know how to tune a bloody guitar? I've had guitar students, they're there, you know, you've had them for 6 months, and then they sit down and go, guitar's not in tune. Oh, can you tune it for me? You really should learn how to, you know, tune your guitar. Oh, I don't know how to do it. I haven't got my guitar tuner with me. Well, do it by ear. No, that's a lost art that only old people like you from the 70s know how to do, Andy. Okay, then. And he wouldn't be walking around in a guitar tuner, because what would that strange device be? When I touch it, it gives forth information about sound. That's what he would have said about that one. Right, so he goes, it's got wires that vibrate and give music. If music's been banned, how can he call it music? Right? He would say it's just sound. Oh, it's doing this thing. What is it? Oh, I'll just call it music. That's it, because that's what they called it in the old days, in the forgotten time. None of it makes sense. What can this thing be that I've found? You've already said that, right? And he's rhyming found with sound. It's rubbish. Neil Peart, brilliant lyricist. Right, and you've got to understand, this bit of rubbish here is just Geddy singing any old tune. It's like this would take him 5 minutes in the studio. Alex, I will recreate it. I will recreate it now. Where's my guitar, right? This is what we are supposed to believe happened. We're supposed to believe that. Right, so this is lying in the cave like this. Right, it's lying in the cave. You can't see it. In fact, I'll get reaction cam, and I'll. Oh no, I can't do that. Okay, and I'm being myself on reaction cam. Yeah, get out my bloody space, you. I do apologise. I was having a good sleep then. I'm not really adding to this much, am I? Not really, no. Anyway, so he's in the cave. Right, he's walking around the cave. Oh, it's a nice cave. Stalactites and stalagmites. Which one's a which? Stalactites holds tightly thing. And I'm a happy man at the moment. I'm perfectly happy. And I live, you know, under the totalitarian rule of the priests. And I'm quite happy. There's no forum, get on with it. What the hell's this? I'll touch it, shall I? I'll touch it, shall I? I'll touch it, shall I? Oh my God, what's it doing? I'll tell you what it's doing. It's giving forth sound. Let's see what this is like. Oh, it's music. It's absolutely brilliant music. You know, even though I've never heard music, I think it needs to be put into tunes. I feel that string should be around there. And I feel if I just randomly put my finger on, yeah, those two strings are together. I'll tune it in fourths. That's what I think I'll do. I'll tune it in fourths. I don't know what fourths are, but I'll tune it if I just take a guess that these things called fourths, that I don't know what they are. Oh, that's a bit sharp, that is. Not that I know what sharp is. Here, when I get to this string, I'm not going to do it in fourths for some bizarre reason that I don't know. I'm going to do it as a major third. we keep this now and go back to fourths again? Because if I tune it with that weird thing, when everyone else discovers this thing, they'll go, why the hell have you done that? You buggered all my scale playing up. You made it all really difficult. Yeah, but the only reason I did that, because I could then play these things called open chords. Now, I've exposed one of the conceits of Rush at this period, is that they take the chord, right? And this is how hard it is to get a guitar in tune. Now, I hate to say this, Rush fans, but if we take the Alex Lifeson guitar method of songwriting, move it up, go to a D chord, move it up, maybe an F, right. Now what he does here, right, and I'm going to leave this out of tune because that's how hard it is to get a guitar in tune. He would have been fiddling around in that cave. Now I've got him a bit in a cave. It's a good place to tune a guitar because it's got a lot of ambience in there, and it would act as a good sort of resident place to have a guitar. So that bit of the plot is okay. This isn't great YouTubing, is it, Andy? No, but it's making a point, isn't it? It's making a point. There we go. God. This is how hard it is. So what Alex Lifeson does is he farts around like that, right? It's as though they've gone, right, we've got to make this song the whole side long, but I'll just fart around on guitar. This will take up 5 minutes. So what shall I do? You know, Alex, well, Geddy, I think you should just sing anything to it, you know. What can this strange device be? When I touch it, it gives forth a sound. It's got wires that vibrate and give music. What can this be? Now this is basically what they do. They do this for the central section of the album, padding it out with something you don't want to hear. Right, then, once he's got this, he goes running back to the priests. Now, one of the things that also rises me with this track is that the bloke who is doing it, he sings in a normal voice like I just did. And but the priests, they don't sing like that. They sing like this. So if you're having a conversation with the priest, right, what they're enacting in music here, in reality, would have been like this. Hello, priest, you're going to be ever so chuffed with me. Why, what have you got? I have got this thing that I found in a cave. What the hell's that thing up there? It's a thing called a guitar. It does this thing called music. It's amazing. You'll love it. We know what that is. We don't want to see that. You naughty boy, why have you been fiddling around with that sort of thing? It's going to make you all depressed. And they're right. See, the priests are right. Once he starts strumming his open chords and goes singing, he goes maudlin like every bloody songwriter. You've got a point here, Andy. You've got a point. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I've got to be honest, I'm with you all the way here. Yeah, in this totalitarian future, it's good that they haven't got bloody horrible open chord singer-songwriter enough stuff, because it gets him all depressed. He was all right before then. Now he's depressed, right? Now he's depressed, so what does he do? He goes back to the cave and dies. He was all right. Move away from the guitar. It's true, yeah, you know, and then he has a dream, right? Now, when you're writing a story, the worst thing you can do is have a dream. Like, how are we going to advance the plot now? You know, you've had the cave bit where you're just strumming guitars. How else can we advance the plot and make it make sense? Well, normally you'd have a story that makes sense. Can't be arsed with that. Can we have a dream then? Yeah, dream anything. Dream about some elders from the old days. They're going to come along. And then at the end, after he's dead, they have this big triumphal bit at the end, and he's all dead. And then you hear this voice, and it goes like this. Oh, they haven't got it written down here. That's interesting. Grand Finale goes, we are the something of the Star Federation. I can't remember it, you see. I thought it would be written down here. We have assumed control. Now, what this is, when I was a kid, I was like, I don't understand this bit now. Listened to all this for 20 minutes. Right, it's really depressing. First bit was amazing. Then he faffs around a cave, discovers being depressed because he becomes a singer-songwriter, goes to the priest. They rightly say, put the bloody guitar away. It's going to make you unhappy. It does make him unhappy. He goes back to the cave and he dies. Like those two kids in Graveyard of the Fireflies. Another bloody depressing film. Right, and then there's a big finale, and then suddenly these voices come on and go, we are the things of the Solar Federation, we have assumed control. I don't even understand it. What a stupid load of rubbish. Right, that's what every kid thinks. I can't think that because the bloody opening was so great. Right, that is basically the elders that he dreamt back. They come back and they assume control, and they get everybody into the bloody guitar. This nonsense. So you know what I'm about to say? You're not going to, are you? Yeah, I am. Don't, Andy. They'll hate you. I don't care. I have put the argument forth on this video. Right, that's what this video is really for. Right, this video, I woke up and thought, now, I love Rush. 2112, never been a big fan of. Why? It's not because of side 2. Side 2 is an okay side in the Rush canon. It's 2112 is the worst song on 2112. No, don't do it, Andy. I've done it. I can't believe it. I do apologise. Don't listen to him. He's off his head. I'm not off. I've thought about this. I've thought about it. It's changed my attitude towards totalitarianism. We need more totalitarianism. My God, what's happened to him? He's going all lefty and thinking things should be controlled. I think it should be controlled. We should have bloody all this stuff I said about freedom of expression. I've gone back. And what Rush were trying to get across there, I totally disagree with. The priests are right. What are you trying to say? What I'm saying is all this bloody doing music and expressing yourself just gets you all bloody mardy and depressed. It shouldn't be here. If everyone just went off doing their own thing and didn't have to think about all these things and didn't have to be philosophical, they'd probably be happy. They'd just be worried about what they wanted to normally do, which is virtually nothing, because their whole lives are controlled for them. I don't think most people can really control their lives, and I think all these people coming out with stuff, I've done it on the channel up until now, haven't I come out here and have an opinion, and then everyone comes out, not everyone, but a lot of people come out and say, you shouldn't be saying that, you're ignorant, that is, you're far right, you shouldn't be having an opinion I don't like, and they try and they're like the priests, and I can imagine as they write that, you're far right, that's the voice they're doing every time I read those comments, why are you offering far right talking points? I'm not offering far right, I'm just, you've got to apologise more, bow down to me, I am the priest of the temple of the sea rings, bow down to me, I'm lefty, bow down to me. How are you doing it? Why are you doing that voice? I haven't got a voice like that. The right are far worse than the left. The right are far worse than the left. Bloody hell. Andy, would Pete Pardo of Seek and Tranquility do something like this? No, he wouldn't. This is insanity, this is. I know it is. That's what they come here for, right? This is once entertaining, but when they analyse what's going on this video, they realise that this bit is incredibly profound. Plus, I have been an iconoclast in the realm of progressive rock, unlike anybody else, and my argument stands forth. Let's move on. The rest of it is just going to be an anticlimax after this. Farewell to Kings. This is way better than bloody 2112. Let's go through it. Farewell to Kings, that's amazing. Xanadu, that's amazing. Rush can do a 10-minute epic. They have enough musical abilities to spread, like Bilbo Baggins spreading that butter over too much bread. They can spread it out over 10 minutes. Xanadu's a masterpiece. Right, I can't do a sidelong. Closer to the Heart, that's really good and catchy. Cinderella Man, Yeah, that's all right, isn't it? Cygnus X1. Right. Cygnus X1 is at once amazing and rubbish. Right? There's some moments in Cygnus X1 that are so cheesy and rubbish and sort of fall into the 2112 rubbish area. But that bit with the riff, you know, bow, bow, ba-da-da. Oh my God, what's going on here now? Feels like I'm going towards a black hole. Bow, bow, ba-da-da-da. He played that riff again, but he didn't do it the same again. Bow, bow, ba-da-da. That's more like it, Geddy. You know, do the same riff again. Bow, bow, ba-da-da, bow, bow, bow. Oh, no, that bit is so. It's not going to be Cygnus X1. Don't push your luck here. You'll have all subscribing with this. I don't know. Shall I just put Madrigal in? It's a bit of a non-starter, in it. When dragons grow too mighty, right? I'm just checking there's no Geddy Lee one here. That's always a good way of this. Because Cinderella Man is Geddy Lee. No, those lyrics are quite good. I reckon Neil Peart did them for him. Neil, can you write us some lyrics for the album? I write all the lyrics for the album now. Can you write me some lyrics about, you know, all the stuff you write, you know, like all existential stuff about, you know, priests and totalitarianism and looking into your soul, you know, all that. Why? I mean, can't you write one? Not really. Could you write me one and I'll say it's me? Well, I don't know, because now we got this new audience. There's not that many ladies in, and the few ladies that are there, they're more intelligent now, and I need to come across looking a bit cleverer, you know, like you. I mean, there you are, very clever with a great big moustache, and you know, it's like you don't even have to try. They're all dropping at your feet. You don't even want to know about the ladies. No, I don't like the ladies. Don't like them. Right, so that's not going to go in. Right, it's going to be Madrigal. When the dragons grow too mighty to slay with pen or sword. Oh, it's clever. How can you slay a dragon with a pen? Stab him in the eye, that's how you do it. Or find that sensitive place, you know, that Smaug's got on his chest. I grow weary of the battle and the storm I walk toward. That storm, that must be a reference to sort of the romantic idea of the inner storm, the inner turmoil, the existential angst. You see, he's full of existential angst, old Neil is. When all around is madness and there's no safe port in view, now the storm's at sea, you know, and the sea can be seen as the subconscious and the turmoil within the subconscious, and he can't find a safe, you know, port of safety. You see, it's not really about dragons and storms, it's about his inner workings. I long to turn my path homeward to stop a while with you. What would be? He never does that, no one. And Neil Peart's, you know, a bit upset. I can't remember one time he ever came to see me. You know. And if he came to see me, especially back at this time in the early 80s, it was quite difficult for us. A lot going on at home. Yeah. It wouldn't have been great. And we would have had to find, you know, feed an extra mouth. And then he would want to have a go on my drum kit, and he would have been let down by it because he had that great big drum kit. Have you got a drum kit, Andy, I can have a go on? And I would have gone, yeah, go on, I'm upstairs on mine. What is it? Premier Olympic, you know. No, that wouldn't work. When life becomes as barren and as cold as winter skies, there's a beacon in the darkness in a distant pair of eyes. In vain to search for order, in vain to search for truth. But these things can still be given. Your love has shown me proof. It's a bloody love song. That's where Neil Peart went wrong. See, there I was earlier on saying he never does it. And there he's doing it. And there he is. Ain't bloody chap. You don't chat up women by saying he's in the mood. You know, like Geddy Lee would. Oh, I'm in the mood today. I mean, what are you in the mood for, Geddy? I don't know, I've been a rumpy pumpy. He's not like that. He goes, you know, he's saying things like, oh, when I touch things, sound comes forth. That's how Neil does it when he walks into a bar. Hello, my lady. Yeah, when I pick up my cup, a drink comes forth. Oh, that's interesting, Neil. Oh, yes. And did you know that I can use metaphors about dragons and bloody storms and all sorts to explain how sensitive I've got? So, yeah, it's Madrigal on that. The next album is this one. Now, you're going to hate this, because I'm going to say it again. Side 2 is amazing. Circumstances is amazing. The Trees is amazing. The Villa Strangiata is amazing. But their side-long epic, Cygnus X1, just goes on for a bit. Am I wrong? Does it just go? I can remember this is their best side-long epic, by the way. They did 4. Did they did 4? I feel like they did 4. They did 2112, Fountains of Lambeth, and this one. No, there's no. They did 3. Maybe they did another one later on. But the point is, this is their best one, and it's so well played, and it's beautiful, and they're not falling. I'm being serious now. He's being serious now, everybody. Just give him a chance now. He's trying to get back into good books. But you have to admit, of these 4 songs on here, this is the worst one because it's a bit boring. So I'm going to have to sing this next one, book 2 in as well. Oh, God. I haven't been much use to you today, have I? Not really. And when I get home, I've got to edit you in. Yeah, you're going to have to edit me in, aren't you? You know. Yeah, I mean, it's glad we haven't done any sort of Chaz and Dave songs together. What do you mean, Andy? Well, can you imagine if we did Rabbit by Chaz and Dave? That would be a right editing nightmare. Why? Why would it be so, Andy? Well, because we'd be singing the chorus. You don't mean this, do you? Rabbit, 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 rabbit. Bloody hell, that was a bit of editing, wasn't it? Oh, it's all fun and games. We've got Reaction Cam. We've got 2 albums to go. This is near perfect as an album. All the tracks are brilliant on here. Let's have a go through them all. See if we can just tease out something that's a little bit rubbish. Spit of the Radio's amazing. Free Will's amazing. Jacob's Ladder's amazing. Really good epic there. Entre Nous. Different Strings, Natural Science. How long is Natural Science? Because Natural Science is in 3 parts, isn't it? And it's pretty long. It says here that it's 9:27. So they can't get past the 10 minutes. I was hoping they got a little bit past the 10 minutes there with that one. I've got to be honest, right? Have a look at this. Madrigal, we got all those songs about dragons, haven't we? I've just read it out. It's the worst one on there, right? On here, Neil Peart has done all the lyrics to everything except for Different Strings, which is by Geddy Lee. And what does he do? Who's come to slay the dragon? Come to watch him fall? Making arrows out of pointy words, giants killers at a call. He's just copying Neil here. That's what he's doing. I might use the dragon as a metaphor. And how you could slay with a pen, like with words, because, Neil said that in the last song on Madrigal, didn't he? He made a point there. I was going, bloody hell, you kill a dragon with a pen. He goes, what, do you stick him in the eye? No, it's not about that. It's about the words killing the dragon. The words kill the dragon. Too much fuss and bother, too much contradiction and confusion. Peel away the mystery. There's a clue to some real motivation. All there really is, the two of us, it's the same bloody song, different strings. No one remembers that. I'm sure musically it's quite good. I can't actually remember that one. I think I always skirted past. It's only 3 minutes. Right, and so we end up with the final epic, which is this one. Now, you know what the worst song on here is? None of them. There's no bad songs here. What about Vital Signs? Sorry. What about Vital Signs? No, Vital Signs is amazing. That is them looking into the future. Yeah, it's them going, let's look into the future, start using a load of bloody synthesizer drum machines and copying the Police. I know, but they do it better here than they ever did ever again. It's better than anything on singles. Vital Signs is amazing. I suppose you're right, Andy. I haven't been able to really, I've got to be honest, as a Reaction Cam, last time I was on, it didn't go well if it just didn't go well, did it? It ended up with the whole destruction of your studio, didn't it? But this time I think you've done all right. Anyway, you're coming up to the hour. Yeah, we're coming up to the hour, and these new cameras, they only do an hour. You're never going to get anything longer than an hour now on this channel because these cameras do it. So, what I'm going to do to finish off is I'm going to put both cameras together, and I'm going to do an editing thing, right? So you see both cameras together. So I've brought through, because all the way through this video, there was a very rush-like, why are you look all nice and toasty, and you're a little bit too bright? Is it? If I put you over here, see, there's too much. I don't understand. You're still too bright. How would I get that? Is it that one there? Well, it's too late now, Andy, isn't it? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, what we've got here, this symbolises the light and the dark. It symbolises that dialect that runs through all of Rush. And even though we've had this quite sort of schizophrenic thing going on between these two characters, here I am unified together as one at the end of the video. So, bloody cameras ran out. Anyway, if you like this bit of froth and frivolity, and you like this sort of alternative wander through the imagined history of Rush, then please like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed it. It's all a little bit of silliness, but I do think 2112 is the worst track on 2112. That contentious belief I'm going to stand by. If anyone wants to come in here and challenge me about it and try and make out that was a good little bit of theatre that they provided, you know, sort of an audio theatre. No, it's not. Bloody hell, you're going to be telling me that The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway makes sense next. Okay then, like, subscribe, become a patron, join the club, do all this, do all that. Thanks for watching, and PayPal tip jar, the money that comes in from there, I buy equipment, and I have been able to, let's try and do this if I can. I'm going to do this right. I have been able to buy 2 cameras. Look, I got 2 cameras now. There we go. And with that strange view, we will finish. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.